Okay, 5 seconds. Okay. All right.
I think we're alive already. Right.
We are indeed live. Yep. All right.
Alright.
Awesome.
Ping out yet? I think shall be out soon. I think.
We'll leave that.
Yeah,
To
it's gonna wait until
big
the ping
man himself.
Yeah, it's gonna wait for the ping, do the funny introduction, and then
Yep.
we get into Nomad 1 because it's Nomad 1 anyway.
Of course.
All right.
Beautiful.
Welcome, Ping Gang.
Welcome, Ping Gang.
Welcome to the grand final showcase, Mappool showcase of a 3-digit World Cup.
Brought to you yet again by two people who are not pooling, but we're here anyways. We're hanging out.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at the maps that Taiwan, Poland, and USA will be battling it out on. And since Nomad 1 is the first map and it's Nomad 1, let's just get right underway with it.
Yeah. Hit it, Shadoos. All right. Here you go, boys.
Can you pronounce the title? Japanese speaking man. Thank you. 218 BPM, so slightly faster BPM than your average Nomad 1, but at this point, you know, it's 7.68 stars. It's a 6.4 stars, sorry. So it's either gonna be mega gigantic jumps or just regular gigantic jumps, but at a higher BPM at this point.
Yeah, it's despite the big anime Bulba BG here, it is not just a typical jump map. Was the impression I got looking at this earlier. It's doing a bit more. It's not a Skyflame Nomad 1, right?
Yeah.
A little bit more going on.
It's still, you know, like conventional enough.
Yeah. No, very much so. It's just it's got some off angles. It's not necessarily like the most comfortable. Pretty like I mean a little bit more dense on bursts maybe than you might expect. But it also at the same time goes out of its way to keep the rhythm density relatively low. Like I was looking at one section in particular later on in the map where you definitely could have just gone like really big streams, but the mapper seems to like very intentionally opted to not do that.
I mean, it's
keeps it very much in the territory of a Nomad 1.
Yeah, I think at this point, like these bursts really shouldn't be any problem for the players left as well, even at this higher BPM. So I don't think many people are gonna complain about the couple bursts that are in.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not a problem. I feel like a bigger thing is just people are gonna. I mean, it's the thing with every Nomad 1, but people are gonna shit miss on jumps. But especially on something like this where it's a little bit more off, you know, on a very high SR map. It's not necessarily that it's really awkward or anything. It's just that little extra bit on a map that's this high SR. It's gonna make its presence felt more. Like that jump section there, I feel like is pretty wonky.
Also, I didn't mention it, but this is also the Crusade Nomad 1, which is why it's like, you know, just works because it's like mapped for this particular as well. Yeah,
it makes sense that it would be a custom map given the
restraint in some of the patterns.
Like there, it's even the splitting them up, you know, having the kick sliders at the end of stuff and not just going straight stream throughout. And it's still a pretty intense stream section, but you know, that much is justified.
Fucking Nomad too. Yeah, definitely the
218 BPM streams in my Nomad 1. I can't believe this.
Outrageous. Yeah, that particular slider before the break, it's ingrained in my mind with the A where you screech after each slider breaks on the slider thing. Actually, legendary moment. Yeah, as far as no mode 1 goes at this level, still relatively normal, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Can't wait to see AIM players get owned on the bursts. The fucking stream player finger gang sends its regards. Get owned.
We don't appreciate no mode 1 players around the
Yeah. We certainly don't. All right.
Yep.
Moving on to what ought to be the most predictable thing in the world. It is yet another Knowledge King in No Mod 2 custom map.
Yep.
This is the Knowledge King slot actually.
Yeah, I think the past 2 or 3 have been Knowledge King. At least I've seen at least 2.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this one, well, as you'd expect from by now staple name.
I very much like it.
It's like very recognizable, the style, but you know, it just really works well for Noma 2. It's like what you want for Noma 2, so just work out. This one higher BPM, it's getting to the point where either you have to make the streams very spaced or just up the BPM by a very small amount to like increase the difficulty appropriately.
Yep.
And this one just because it's 210 and the streams are like relatively long, does test a fair bit of stamina, I would say.
Yeah, as it's supposed to.
Yep. But definitely also has some emphasis on the flow. Just a very solid Noma 2 in general. Definitely, I think, picks up in the second part.
The patterning, basically exactly what you ought to expect from a Knowledge King map at the moment. I mean, if you did not know about Knowledge King and weren't familiar, by this point, certainly you should be. Definitely feel like even outside of 3WC, I have been pooling Knowledge King No Mod 2s and shit.
Oh yeah.
You know,
they're just
very much.
They're just very solid Noma 2s in general. Like very safe, very good picks. Just like
I mean, it's just a safe choice, really. It's like a.
And here is where song starts to pick up, as well as the map starts to get a bit more intense. A little bit more flowing required for these patterns.
Yep. Patterning gets a little bit more complex here. Doing some more complex shapes, challenging flowing a little bit.
As well as increased spacing. But yeah, just because it's a little bit more intense, like there's a high object count in just over 2 minutes. I think it's like 1,400 objects in 2 minutes 20. So those will be tested. What?
Oh no.
We'll be testing stamina though in some players. Very interesting, miss to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the Noma 2. We're moving on to Noma 3, which is the alt map. Meteora, the ice cold set. I think some people are gonna puke because they do not enjoy ice cold.
I am unfortunately one of them. I'm currently vomiting all over my desk.
Ah shit. Yeah, not an incredibly standard alt map. There's lots of like snapping as well, but still what you'd expect within this slot at this level.
Yep, for sure. Nothing too unorthodox at this point for higher SR pools, I imagine.
Yep. Definitely some snaps, some floaters, some bursts mixed in here and there.
I feel like one of the main distinguishing features of this map is just going to be the fact that it's an ice cold map, and whether or not you can play, you know, his type of awkward aim and awkward patterns.
Yeah.
His object organization. It's very particular, and
yeah, it's I wouldn't call it bad. It's just like some people just don't click with it, I guess.
Yeah. I would call it bad, but that's a whole other discussion.
A nice subjectivity there. Yeah. Definitely a bit more snap-oriented than your average Ultima, but I think still tests most stuff you'd expect. As well to differentiate it from a upcoming pick, which I shall not spoil. Shall only tease you a little bit.
Do a little bit of teasing.
We do a little bit of teasing. Oh yeah, I don't think many people will disagree with this being like a very good song. Very nice slapper, banger, whatever you want to call it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Hell yeah. Think any maniacs are gonna single tap this?
I'm not so deeply familiar with the players left, but I think not.
Wolf will, yes, absolutely. Wolf, the speed player.
Of course.
Yeah, I think.
Well, Wolf was showing the other day in the perennial that he's a No Mod 1 player apparently, so you know, it's who knows.
Maybe.
That man is strange.
I think if Brazil were still in, I would see Nissan single tapping this, but that's about it. I think most people definitely opt to actually alternate this map.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it is with most alternate maps. Just even if you can single tap, it's likely taking an unnecessary risk.
Oh yeah.
There's almost certainly going to be, especially with nerves in like a tournament setting, I feel like you're more likely to run into some issues.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't in solo, even if you do have the single tap stamina.
Yeah, unfortunate break there as well at the end.
Yep, just completely misaimed, fell apart.
Nerves taking over.
That happens.
Oh, very good. Moving on, No Mod 4, technical beat map. I think this one probably very known to most players.
Yep.
It's
Of course it is real easy.
Yeah.
Has to be.
It's one of the most, I think, I wouldn't say overused, but more known maps in like high level, like finals tech.
Well known for sure, but I mean it's real easy. It's
I mean it's there's a reason why it's, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean it's just
a very good map.
It's a good map. It fits the slot.
That's pretty much everything that you want from a tech map. I think first and second part are also very distinguishable in what they test.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the first part is harder.
Yeah, slightly harder. Yeah. There's some
that little back and forth there is pretty.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. So
yeah,
to be able to hit these relatively consistently.
It's gonna be a bit of a challenge.
I'd say the hardest pattern actually is the one that's about to come up here before the break to hit consistently.
Yeah, the cuts there are just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it's if you do hit them, it's a little bit of free combo, but the faster part that comes up right after this is nothing. It's definitely not free combo. It's,
yeah.
Maybe you could argue it's not as hard as the first part, but it's definitely not free.
Oh yeah, I would not consider it free. Just the first part has a bit more going on. This is more.
Yeah, it's more
I guess aim focused.
Yeah, cursor control pattern like processing stuff.
Yeah.
Where you have like you need to do those little angle shapes at the corner of your screen.
Yeah, the just handling transitions between those patterns as well.
Pretty much.
Is essentially the challenge.
It's a different type of skill that's being tested compared to the first half, but I would both say equally challenging, and like overall it just makes it like a complete check of pretty much everything. I think the only thing pretty much missing would be like 1/3, 1/6, but everything else is just.
Oh yeah, like rhythm change-ups, and potentially even funnier sliders.
Yeah,
That would also be something
but
potentially missing.
pretty much everything else is just there.
Yeah.
It's about
No,
as
it's
complete as you can get.
solid tech.
Moving on, no modification 5. Speed map. We do a little OJT.
We do a little OJT stealing.
Yep.
Nick, my brother. Let's go.
Handshake.
The OJT stealing.
Yeah, this one, OJT Grand Finals, No Mod 5, now also in 3WC, and there's a reason why this was borrowed from OJT. It's just super solid No Mod 5 for
Free
this.
real estate.
Yep.
You just move in on these free maps you get.
Yep.
From OJT.
If Japan isn't playing in the Grand Finals, you're technically legally allowed to.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what the OC tournament rule of law states. Absolutely.
I feel like there is a decent requirement of just speed control at 240. And you need to be very comfortable with 240 because there's always these kick sliders, or like the bursts are always like separated by a little pause, so you need actually some decent control.
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's kind of a nebulous way of putting it, but I mean, I feel like by what would you say, like allegory, like if you take, for example, like a DT4 pick that's 10.3, and really funny, complicated patterns and everything, where it tests your actual comfort on high AR. This is kind of the same thing where it tests your actual comfort on the high BPM. It isn't. You're not just gonna be able to mash through.
Yeah, like if you can mash 240, you're just gonna break every 2 seconds, because it's specifically patterns that that you can only really play them consistently well if you can actually play 240 at a reasonable level.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a custom map. Like, it was designed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
so you can really tell. Very, very solid pick. Yeah, as mentioned in chat, 1,500 combo in 2 minutes. Like, you just know what to expect.
Very intense. Very intense.
Yep. Moving on to No Mod 6, the bullshit slot. This is pretty bullshit.
This is most certainly bullshit. Have fun with this one, guys.
I think most people will know the lower diff of this.
Yeah, the Downs Extra.
This
been
one
in a couple of tournaments at this point, I believe, and a very fun, challenging map. Yeah, this is
this, but 10 times harder.
Yeah, as if that wasn't hard enough. It's,
because I think the fin control is only slightly harder compared to the Downs, but this one also requires very, very solid crucial control.
Yeah, like one of the funny things about the Downs Extra is that it isn't even challenging you very hard aim-wise or anything. It's just mostly, rhythm, and it's already hard with that.
Yeah. This one is that a little bit harder, but with a lot more cursor control.
Yeah. Consumer of Bean is actually popping off right now on this. It's doing very well.
Yeah. This map is not. I think as well it might be a little bit challenging to keep it up until the end. I don't think any pattern is particularly incredibly hard to do mechanically, but it's just doing them in a row without breaking.
I mean, it's just reading them appropriately, right? It's the stress of constantly having to read these more complicated rhythms accurately, and these more complicated. Even a little bit of aim control challenge added to it can be really challenging. I mean, just the fact on its own that the Downs Extra is already hard, in spite of not really offering up any aim control or any challenge aim-wise, really.
Yeah.
That should say on its own that this is quite challenging, quite hard.
Yeah. It's also the only slow part of the map. A little bit of a breather before the end, which is moderately impossible.
Just like the.
We like a little bit of impossible. This part low speed up. Starts very slow and then speeds up.
Oof, what a place to break.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the end probably the hardest part of the map. But I think the entire map is just very, very hard to be consistent on.
Spectacular play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe there's something to eating them beans.
And gonna note this down.
Yeah. Maybe the British were onto something.
Either way, that's the normal pool, and now we shall move on to the hidden pool. Hidden one. Kuso Mizorogibi. Yes, very good. I should not have said that. Either way, 230.
Kuso Misaragi. There you go.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Handshake. Thumbs up.
Handshake. Thumbs up.
Upvoted on Reddit. Either way.
It's a hit one. It's in the style of. It's kind of funny. It's not strictly in the style of like a high BPM hidden one. It also doesn't do the typical like lower AR density, like AR9 density, as the AR is a bit higher. But kind of in exchange for not offering density in that kind, it offers up some awkward aim.
Yep.
And awkward patterning, as you're especially going to notice in the choruses, I believe, the bursts.
Yeah, they're a bit
pretty damn rough.
Yeah, and some uncomfortable angles at times as well. Or like the patterns before and after don't lend themselves into hitting the bursts very easily.
Yeah.
And at 230 BPM, not the easiest thing to hit. So I don't think many players will suffer from the BPM requirement. It's more from the map just throwing stuff at you constantly.
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea behind the.
Yeah.
That's the idea. It's somewhat alleviated by the AR, but it's you know, still gonna have to be comfortable on hitting the confidently combo.
This one actually recently ranked, like not super recent anymore, but like I think within the last month. And yeah, and true hidden one fashion also just like a consistency check in that regard.
Yeah. A longer map, kind of structured. It kind of does loosely structured, does similar patterns throughout the map. Yeah, just a classic kind of consistency.
Very, very fun fact. Obviously, being able to use a Teikuku map, mapped by Isomir D'Angelo, who mapped like 5 billion of their songs. He wrote in the description, "This will be the only anime song I'll ever map."
Damn, dude.
A slightly burstier section there. Shouldn't be the biggest problem to hit, I think. Yeah, also, I would put this under banger category. Not sure about you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate this one. I mean, it's basically the best thing about Mirai Neki is like the
everything else you can just chuck in the bin. Yeah.
Yeah, chuck it, dude. Actually, one thing that might be worth mentioning is the constant use of these kind of oddly shaped beziers in some parts. If you don't read them appropriately, you might actually break on them.
Yeah.
Due to the hidden factor, especially. I mean, they just vanish, of course. So
very straight.
I do feel like they're not terribly complex or whatever, and they're not terribly long either. Like you're unlikely to see it, but you could very easily, I feel like, see someone get a shit miss moment where they just, you know, aim off a slider too early, let go of it too early, and just break.
Just very awkward. Like nothing is incredibly awkward, but everything is a little bit awkward.
Yeah. It's kind of just always in that space, and yeah.
Yep. Either
Moving on.
hidden too.
All right.
Your favorite.
Now we have a banger.
Yeah. This was, you know, I think everyone will know this map from OWC. I'd be surprised if someone doesn't know the map. But this was originally in Nomad. This map now in Hidden, I think, just surprisingly works, because you wouldn't think of map design be played Nomad would like the spectacular work on Hidden, but I think this one in particular does, because so many of the patterns just become 10 times harder with Hidden on this map. Just some of the pattern processing, the flow aim as well, just becomes a lot more challenging on Hidden.
It is kind of a flow aim test, but obviously it's got a little bit more going on than that.
Yeah, obviously.
Not pure flow aim.
Yeah. I feel like this part is, for me, unironically the hardest part of the map. Because it's the dog. I think I've had one run where I hit this part.
Wait, really? That bad?
Yeah, I just shit miss on a double or something every time.
I will say, I do think that part is shit missable, but Jesus, you've only hit it one time. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I think this is the place where you're bound to expect misses.
Yeah,
Really intense kind of...
Especially with Hidden.
Discord guitar part there. Yeah.
Lots of wonky patterns, like just very strange, and probably not super comfortable for most players. Like if a player of the caliber of Shina Naruto is like having a lot of trouble hitting a lot of these patterns, it's bound to be not easy for most people.
Yeah. Even if this is just a sight read, you could almost certainly do better with practice. It still says something. Still very much says something about the map.
Yeah. This part in particular, I think, will be the one where everyone's gonna like miss at some point. Lots of rhythm changes and all these cuts left and right.
This cut part, that's the one. I feel like.
Any hits?
I feel like the rest of that part is actually pretty, like, not terribly difficult to come consistently, but that cut part is really rough, because the angles between the cuts and like how it's organized as well is really rough and unconventional. Like, you're probably not, you know, experienced with playing flow cuts like that at that angle in that
especially with
way.
Hidden as well.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Yeah, very banger, very cool. Moving on to Hidden 3, to a map.
Polka Dot Stingray good.
I think most people will also know this map.
Yeah.
Recently qualified.
It's time for AIM AR8, which means Gamma players rejoice. You filthy pigs.
Looking at a specific Swedish player here as well.
Yeah. Looking at one particular rat.
He's unfortunately not in the tournament.
Yeah, unfortunately wasn't even able to play in the first place. But yeah. Unfortunately, the rat is actually pretty good at the game.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, I think Yokes by aim is unironically so satisfying to watch. I don't know what it is about his aim, but on so many maps it's just like very, very cool and anxiety-inducing at the same time.
It's a thrill ride. It's
Yeah.
Ooh, God. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was very much seeing him aim the burst here. He's just wiggling. He's not even shaking. It's just how he aims.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So yeah, this map doesn't need much of an explanation or introduction. It's just awkward aim, overlaps. Like, as much as this is aim, there's a lot of reading involved in it as well.
I mean, I guess, but it's the classic thing where it's an aim map for reading players and a reading map for aim players.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's a decent description of the map.
Because, I mean, unless you're... I mean, the thing is, obviously, there are the type of players that are very comfortable on this kind of thing, but I feel like for the bulk of AR8 players, they're not necessarily going to be super comfortable on, like, huge jumps.
Yeah.
On low AR.
Definitely the type of map that's just an aim map for, like, the more...
Yeah.
better AR8 players and the aim
Yeah,
players.
it kind of biases towards that direction, but then you have the peak, like the really good players at this type of stuff, like Yokespy.
The 50s on that stack.
Yeah.
Too early and too late, and he doesn't miss. I don't understand.
The man just does not break.
Someone check Yokespy computer. I think there may be hack there.
Yep. Has to be cheating.
I think for a lot of the players, this will be one of the harder maps. Just because it's so hard to get better at this type of map without having...
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's one of those things where practice doesn't necessarily help you much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, moving on to the hard rock pool now that we're done with Hidden. Hard Rock 1. An Old Lich King map, but it's
Banger.
not streamed.
And the Dank is playing. My man.
Oh shit,
Captain of Woofer Troopers.
These towers of IR-11 built dozers.
Yep.
This one, Hard Rock 1. So, kind of obvious what you're bound to expect.
Expect Nomad 1 with bursts.
Yep. And
some more kick slider patterns like that.
yeah,
And
it's actually
maybe aim that's a little bit different from how the Nomad 1 works.
at maybe a more comfortable BPM for aim players, this being 194. So decent BPM difference between Nomad 1.
Yep.
Which is nice to see.
And a decent song.
Yeah.
Pretty good song.
There were some of those space triples there, which might be a little bit tricky for some of the players.
Yep.
But I think this, in classic Hard Rock 1 fashion, just, probably one of the more comfortable of picks for most players.
Yep.
I think this is 7.52 with Hard Rock, so slightly below Nomad 1, but by no means easy.
Yep.
Yeah, we see those space triple again, and all the bursts starting to get a little bit spaced as well. So it's not just a transition phase between the jump; they're actually somewhat challenging as well at this point.
So 1/3 there.
Nothing impossible. But
Yeah. Too bad. NC'd as well to.
Oh,
Ooh, those jumps are big.
Yeah, they're not at the most comfortable angle either.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
not too surprised then found his miss there.
yeah. Definitely gonna see people breaking there.
Yeah,
It's the kind of pattern that you know, people who have held combo are breaking on, and people who broke earlier are comboing through for some reason.
yeah,
So definitely that kind of thing.
Or if you manage to combine the best of both worlds and come until then and hit it, you're gonna have Nurse of Death on the slow.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. In this slow section build up, like, yeah. The shake. The shake will be coming in.
Absolutely. Yeah, not much else to say.
Well, we're gonna see what happens in the ending jump section here.
Oh yeah.
Bound to be rough.
Yeah, so when the song spikes as well in intensity.
Yep.
So yeah, combination of big jump with a little bit of those space triples. So not as crazy actually at the third part, but still
Yeah.
nothing to scoff at either.
Big slider.
We like that ending big slider. Yeah, moving on. Hard Rock 2. A custom map.
Let's go.
My captain. 94 accuracy. Should maybe say what's about to come.
Going to be the axe challenge.
Yep. With Hard Rock 3 being the designated precision slot, this one is gonna be something else. More rhythmically challenge, old teeth, I suppose.
Yep. Just due to being swing.
Yeah. And because swing rhythm on Hard Rock just gonna mean that it's gonna be hard for anyone to act consistently. Especially with all these cuts and very like non-standard rhythms.
Yep.
Still decently aim heavy, but also a left-hand requirement.
Oh yeah, I definitely say it's aim heavy looking at these patterns. You've gotta be requires a decent amount of like pattern processing just to read them appropriately as well.
Yeah.
Because then you also need to execute on it. Like especially one triangle pattern earlier, you really it's definitely the kind of thing where the angles are very awkward and non-intuitive, I guess.
Yeah.
So you've got to like be able to even process that properly in the first place.
Yeah. And even if you do, you need to be able to have the mechanical skill to actually execute.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing.
So I think this will actually, like, if a team is not the best Hard Rock team, this is the ban of the
Oh
show.
yeah, I would say so. Looks very tough.
I'm not sure if any of the teams left actually are like particularly uncomfortable with Hard Rock to a certain extent, but yeah, if they are, do not leave this open.
Yeah. But a cool map. Yeah,
definitely a very cool map. Very nice custom map for sure. And moving on to Hard Rock 3, we have Anoken K8107. The
Gears of War background.
Mm-hmm. I think the diff that was like used a couple of years ago in OWC is like the lore diff. This one is the top diff. So bound to be a lot more challenging than that one as well.
Yep.
This one offers precision aim, but also flow aim, and I would say has a noticeable spike at the end as well. Arguably the hardest part of the map. But obviously everything up until then isn't just free combo.
Yep.
very easy to like not hit the last note like that on one of these, or miss aim with the precision requirement.
That transition is actually really rough.
Yeah.
For the triangle. You could actually see on the cursor trail just how much stress went into that movement.
Yeah, it's
it was way faster than.
a little like, I don't know if it's a rhythm change, but it's like a change of pace, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's just basically there's a very big jump to that triangle. It's a bit of a tough transition, but
yeah, this I think this song definitely picks up here. Lots of more intricate patterns, lots of cuts just like before, but they're like harder than at the start. So I think we might just get to see some chain misses note locking here as well, with the nerves as well.
oh, for sure. Yeah, the spike here at the end is pretty immense.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
Regardless, that's shorter pick on hard rock precision. And now with the hard rock pool done, we're moving on to the DT pool. With DT1 being itself not a custom map, but was mapped by Captain. Very bursty DT1 actually. When I checked out the map to like get an idea of what it's about, I saw lots and lots of bursts, and maybe slightly higher BPM what you expect from a DT1, being 266 with DT.
Yeah.
Yeah, very bursty, very intense. I think should be enough of a challenge for most of these DT players. Still, you know, emphasis still on the aim, but also the burst, something to watch out for. Especially with the fact that these bursts aren't 240 or 250, but like getting close to 270. Yep. 266 BPM jumps with heavy burst emphasis. Pretty nice map. With the length also not being very long for a DT1, talking at 230 with DT. That'll be, I think, one of the most popular picks.
Yeah. Can definitely imagine seeing that.
Oh yeah, something to mention maybe it's that it's still Air 9, so we won't see any above 10.3 shenanigans in this tournament.
Opting for higher BPM.
Yeah.
Good song.
Yeah.
Good song.
Song appreciated.
Oh my god. Okay.
Started the burst early, I think. Like, yeah. All the 50s were early. Yeah, this one, I think actually that more people will struggle on the burst than on the aim on this one.
Oh yeah, I definitely think this is burst focused enough that that kind of becomes the main event.
Yep.
It's what you're picking it for.
I think, well, I can see the rest of the pool, but I think it makes sense looking at another pick in DT. Not DT2 though. DT2 is something different. And that one is gonna be Tifse, the Insane Diff on DT, which is the stamina focused DT. There's a little bit of an aim component, but I think the hard part is definitely the stamina, which I think shines through on the second part. First one is decently finger control, stamina heavy, but
it is a celery map, so there could be. I mean, I have not seen this before.
yeah,
Like this difficulty, but there could be a bit of an aim challenge and like
Yeah.
a bit awkward patterning.
yeah, a little bit. But I think definitely in the second part the bursts just don't stop when they start coming. First part is nothing, obviously not easy, as you can see by these longer bursts. this middle part a little bit calmer, but in the second part it just does not stop.
Mm.
Yeah, and now it starts with all the consecutive longer bursts. Some longer streams, as we saw before. And some finger control needed definitely for these doubles that come between the bursts.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna test stamina and just strain pretty much everyone. Shorter pick, but shouldn't be too easy for anyone, really. Yeah, moving on to DT3. Minus Judgment. Older map.
Oh man, okay.
This on DT, I think complements DT1 pretty well, because
this is pretty aimy, right?
it's decently aimy. It does have some of these like faster 280 bursts and consecutive triples, but I think the main focus is definitely on the older style linear aim, which is very fast as well.
Yep.
Wait, what maniac is single tapping this? I forgot to look at the replayer name.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, it's Malteser. It's 285, the BPM on this.
Oh, laser client's broken. That's
Oh, is it? Oh shit, I didn't notice. Oops. But yeah, there's definitely some bursts. Like, it's not just gonna be like alternate or single tap in this case fast, but I think, I don't think, I'm pretty sure the bigger difficulty is just gonna come from the linear aim for most players.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what I meant by like DT1 complementing this map very well. It's just like DT1 is still to some extent aimy, but
I mean, it just isn't the main event of DT1, so you have I mean, it isn't necessarily the main event of this one either, but it's complementing it with some a noticeable aim component.
Yeah. I was a bit like when I checked out the pool, I was a little bit skeptical about seeing this in DT3 because I remember it being mostly aim, but then when I saw DT1, I was like, yeah, this actually fits pretty well. Very cool stuff. And it's also like a different type of aim as well compared to DT1. Like DT1 is more modern style. This one very, very linear, very old style.
I mean, it functions very much as like a gimmick DT pick.
Yep.
On top of offering up an aim component.
Yep.
In fact, the gimmick part is definitely the main event of this one, I'd say. It's,
yeah. Very cool song as well. And moving on to DT4. Now this is a map. This is
certainly a map.
Certainly an also beat map. Certainly of very high difficulty. 10.3 finger control strain type of map you could expect from in DT4 slot. I think 10.3
gotta have something funny in the DT4 slot.
Yeah, DT 10.3 reading is it's like absolutely necessary for this one. It's just like it's over if you can't read 10.3.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier when talking about the number 5.
Yeah,
it's about how this type of map I feel like it tests if you can actually read higher AR or not.
Yeah, this.
I mean, it is very mechanically challenging as well.
As well, yeah, but like, I think even if you have the mechanics, if you can't read 10.3, it's gonna be still death.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be death. even if you can play 10.3 jump maps.
Yep. I think I don't know if like there's much explanation to be had for this map. Like it speaks for itself with how intense it is with all these doubles and triples and just kicks.
Yeah. It goes on. I mean, the patterning is very simple. It is a reform map. You know, not a PP map, but made by a PP mapper. So the patterning is very simple. It follows a very simple structure. So there isn't much to highlight in terms of like this is different or anything. It just kind of goes on and on and on with this hitting you with these really intense rhythms.
Yeah. I think for a lot of players whose stamina isn't like their main skill, this second part is gonna be just a lot more straining because it's just again maybe at the start of the map you're a bit more fresh in terms of stamina, but
yeah,
it's gonna kind of kill you.
Really, really good play from Chaos Raids, I believe it was.
Oh yeah, S rank as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the T pool done, moving on to free mod 1 with a very good song as well.
Interesting.
This one, the big CS.
Big CS,
slightly tech, but
yeah.
I would say
like light tech bursty map. Yeah, it's like a pretty typical thing to see in free mod, I'd say at this point.
I think, but like I would say this would be probably balanced, but because with Hard Rock the aim component is so big, I think most teams will actually be opting for just a double hidden on this. Especially because I think.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Those sliders would not be kind to you on HR.
Yeah. So. Especially with acting them as well. Yeah, you just gotta.
That's basically what I was thinking. Is you're probably gonna just drop. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's yeah. I think all the 3 teams left have very good hidden players. So I would be surprised to see any hard rock on this at all.
Yeah.
Unless someone is like incredibly confident in their aim. Funny because this song was used in the previous 3WC, but it was at the release set. This one is the unranked sealed set, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Maybe not the set people think about when they hear this song.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a very good set in my opinion.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to the Moecho diff on that set. Very fun. Either way, relatively short map for free mod 1. Moving on directly onto free mod 2, which is going to be
holy shit.
The Natikedesu map. This one in true Jones on Whatnot style. All his funny nicknames.
I'd just say Elvis.
Yeah.
I can't be fucked to keep track of what the hell he's named now.
Yeah. This one ulti, but not flowy, like hidden 2. More skills. This one is very awkward aim and aim heavy, like awkward aim ulti type of map.
Yeah.
And I think
very, very distinctive Elvis, modern Elvis style.
Yeah. I think this one also a map where you're only gonna really go hard rock if you think your aim is on point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's yet another map where we're probably a bit unlikely to see that happen given the teams that are left in the tournament.
Yeah, I think it's just also the thing where like towards grand final stage, the maps by default are getting so hard that going hard rock is like very, very unlikely for a lot of
Yeah,
because of just the pure aim strain that's required of this map.
yeah.
Especially
I do think that with some of the awkward patterns in this map, if someone did have just overwhelming mechanical skill, they might actually want the HR to alleviate any reading strain whatsoever. It's unlikely, but you know, theoretically maybe.
Yeah. Very challenging map to say the least. So. I think even with no mod, this is not gonna be like
yeah, it's not gonna be free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like as much as this is really hard with either mod, it's also not a map where like you have your best player just go no mod for the free FC, because this is by no means a free FC map.
Yeah, that's the kind of situation you hate, being the guy going no mod because your entire team is like, oh, you better FC, we're counting on you. You're gonna be the carry.
Oh, you will carry. Oh,
yeah. Just yeah, tough position.
If this was no mod, I would actually say it wouldn't be like, it would be just average difficulty for this pool. But this being free mod, I think probably is gonna end up being one of the lower scoring maps.
Yeah.
If it gets picked. Yeah. If it gets picked, since you know it is grand finals, that means it's
I could imagine people seeing some of the players left in this tournament having a real good performance. So
yeah. I'm seeing some minor trolling in chat. I like to see that. Speaking of
okay, okay,
wow,
dude.
That's
let's calm down there.
Meu Deus, cara.
Let's keep our shirts on, okay? Let's like, you know, let's calm down, okay?
That was wild. No restraints on that one.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, as we approach the end of the map. Still, for the map, like 450k isn't bad at all, actually.
Yep.
But yeah, moving on to free mod 3. Also, a map people will probably recognize. Osu World Cup.
Mordred. German.
Yes. On this CS5 AR8. Pick up the free mod pool.
The classic balance pick. Yep.
Yeah, very, very challenging on either mod, especially in tournament with Tyrok for the precision required for these massive jumps, and hidden just for the awkward AR8 jumps that are still big. Like, it's not like they're trivial with hidden.
Yeah, the token low BPM map of the pool, which is just very much just a token gesture at the point you start venturing into this level of SR. They're just low BPM maps just kind of don't go this high, you know.
Yeah. I appreciate that Yoke did a replay for this, so I can gaze at this amazing aim.
Yeah.
You do love to see the Yoke aim on Noyar.
Doing it up with the hidden.
Mesmerizing, to say the least.
I mean, as someone who would, you know, kind of be known as someone who plays hidden, I have to say I feel like surely people will want to go HR on this.
Yeah,
surely.
yeah, I think.
I feel like no way you ever want to go hidden on this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so easy to just miss aim, honestly. But on Hard Rock, I feel like a lot of players, obviously, even with the higher aim strain, they just removed that awkward reading reading tall, and just focus mostly on the aim. What am I reading in chat?
Yeah. What was I talking about earlier about keeping our shirts on? Let's calm down in chat, boys. Let's. Jesus Christ. Oh well. Very much a more good map, I would say.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think
very focused on the.
big snap aim patterns.
Yeah, yeah.
Personally, not a fan of this map in particular, but it works. Like, it's not a bad map by any means.
Can't believe you're shit talking Nick on stream live
No, I'm not. It's
for all the people to hear.
It is not an objective shit talking. It is a subjective shit talking. There is a difference. There's a difference. Either
Yeah, tell
way,
that to Nick, man. Crying.
3 mod 3. That was it. And now we move on to the tiebreaker. And knowing Nick, you can't have a pool completely without some kind of VTuber. It's not a VTuber song, but it's a VTuber background.
Wait, is it really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Why would you do this?
This one at 230 BPM, so a relatively speedy tiebreaker, but tests just about everything really. Has some streamier section, map is a lot of aim, does have some more sliders, with some light tech to it.
Yeah, I think just about every pooler has their in a TV. Has this in a TV collection.
Yeah,
I've
it's
had it for a while. Just
Yeah.
it's very high SR, so you're probably not going to get much of an opportunity to use it. But
Yeah, but
here
when
you go.
get-
Here it is.
Yeah, when you get the opportunity to use it, it's probably one of the better tiebreaker picks, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very solid TV pick.
Say
And
one
the
of-
230 BPM is a bit higher, but I mean, especially we're talking about this kind of rank range. You're not. I feel like you're not going to see people really struggle that bad. You're not going to see a team get owned by the fact that this is 230. You are going to see teams get owned by those sliders, though. Because
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, even though this is a Lollycore, My Angel Watame, whatever you want to call a map, it is one of his most tamer maps. Like, some of his other maps feature some very bullshit patterns. This one, not so much of it.
I mean, I can't believe the shit Nick is telling me. The shit that happens with.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's some. You know, it's basically the propagation of a meme where it's just, oh, everyone else has this as a background, so I'm gonna use the background as well.
It was something. I think the OWC custom map of the song, which was the short version, also had a polka background, and I think literally everyone after that started using a
Yeah,
polka
yeah.
for God knows what reason.
Fucking weebs. Can't believe
Hey,
it.
I'm not gonna complain. I'm just saying. Clown theme song, clown VTuber checks out, yep.
I think one of the. I feel like it's just nice to have actual rhythm game music, you know?
Oh yeah.
Gives a nice atmosphere. It's you know, you feel like maybe you're actually playing a proper rhythm game. It's you
No
know,
way.
nice.
Rhythm music in my rhythm game. Outrage.
Yeah.
So angry right now. Yeah. Pretty much test everything as I mentioned before. I think soon we'll see some very burst heavy part.
Yep. Calm down, Aiden. Calm down. Calm down, dude.
Restraint, my friend.
Yeah. Remind yourself the importance of restraint.
It's actually funny because like before like checking out this map, I didn't. I mean, I knew of the existence of this map, but when I found it at first, I didn't know this song had a full version. I thought the you know, the Yaspel custom diff or whatever, the song of that was the full version already. So a little bit surprising.
Oh, I mean, it's probably one of those instances of that actually is kind of the full version, and this is kind of extended.
Oh,
That's usually the situation. I mean, this is, as far as I understand, from a rhythm game. So obviously, the short version is the original version that you had would have in the rhythm game. But sometimes they, on album releases, they have an extended version or a full version.
I see. Thank you for
Yeah. Nick is playing short as original, so yeah, that would be.
Thank you
accurate.
for educating me.
Yeah.
This is now a learning stream.
It's why some extended versions can be very underwhelming because they're an afterthought, you know.
Yeah.
It's not what it was supposed to be initially. There's only some artists that have you know, actual good extended versions. One of them is just obviously Nekomata Master.
Mm-hmm.
Nekomata Master is usually very good even when it's an extension.
Yeah, here's
There's some duds though, but
aforementioned streamier part of the song. Followed up by some kit sliders to make sure you break on them if you ever happen to hit the streamer section.
Oh yeah.
You hit the streamer section, well, unlucky.
Ensuring
Unfortunate.
Death. Assault from all angles.
Yep.
It's just a hard map. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean,
I
it's
feel like just looking at it, I feel like it has some trickier stuff, I guess, but overall, it's just hard. Like,
yeah, it is 7.6
it doesn't do anything too, you know, exotic or anything. It's just hard.
Yep. But yeah, the outro closing
Playing
up
us out.
Yep. And that's the Mappool showcase for the grand finals.
The end.
I think schedules, polls, and whatnot should be on the sheet any moment now.
Yes.
Keep pressing F5.
You will be pinged.
Maybe shift F5 as well to refresh your cache.
Yeah,
Other
because
than
Google
that-
Sheets might be trying to own you secretly.
Yep. Other than that, please play the pool. Please practice the pool. Look
Good
forward.
luck to everyone left in the tournament.
Hopefully
Best of luck to
nobody
you
will be
guys.
scheduled cucked. And
Yeah.
Good luck in the matches. I'm assuming there's gonna all get streamed, so
Yeah.
look forward to that. And yeah, this has been the Mappool showcase. We will see you in the weekend with the matches.
Yes. See you guys.
Oh, we're already ready perennial.
Damn.